In northern New Jersey, there's a place known as the Wyandottie Highlands. And in this area, there have been a lot of reports of this Bigfoot like creature that they call red eyes. And what's eerie about it is this Bigfoot is known for having these bright red eyes. Now, there was this man named Jack. Jack said that he and some friends, they went out to a friend's cabin. And they had been there a couple days when they decided to go on a very long hike. He said they didn't get very far away from the cabin when he slips over a root and he twists his ankle. When he twists his ankle, he lets out like this scream and he starts yelling in pain. And his friends, they pick him up and they start carrying him back to the cabin. But they said that's when they heard something very large running through the woods, and it followed them all the way back to this cabin. So they go inside and they get him all fixed up. And Jack said, we'll go back tomorrow and we'll go into town and we'll figure out like what's going on with my leg. Later that night, around 11 o'clock, they start hearing these banging sounds, boom, 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 coming from the side of the house. And they're like, what is that? What is that sound? They look out the windows. They don't see anything. They open the front door. There's no one there. For about 20, 30 minutes, they keep hearing these banging sounds over and over again. And that's when they heard something terrifying. They start hearing someone screaming like they are in pain or like they have gotten hurt. And this repeated over and over again. And they said as they looked out the windows, they could see stuff running around through the forest. They said that's when they heard something get up on the front porch. And they all observed out this one window this very large creature with red eyes looking at them. They said they started to make a bunch of banging noise and loud sounds. And that must have worked because these things like ran off back into the woods. So the next day they get out of there and they're talking amongst themselves. And he goes, it's almost like whatever that was, it heard me screaming like I was in pain. And it came running like almost like an animal looking for food. And it followed us back to the cabin. And those sounds it was making was like it was trying to lure us out into the woods. And he said that was the creepiest experience he's ever had in the northern highlands of New Jersey.